Hi, welcome to our channel. Be smart, don't be other people's cash cow. Today we're going to talk about how to break through the serviceability challenge by investing in commercial property / lease stocks. Definition for lease stock is when you're investing in a commercial type of property such as retail, office, factory with a long-term lease, usually longer than 12 months by the time you settle, and then hold it for long-term investment purpose. The benefit of investing in commercial are many. For example, they may drive higher capital growth. Maybe some of them are more stable than the residential, some of them are not, and it got maybe more potential for future developments. For example, today's Richmond in Melbourne used to be factory all over the place, but now look at it, it's mixed-use developments, very funky and very high capital gain in those areas. Very importantly, if you do invest in lease stock, then you don't need to provide much of your income support, and the banks can ignore all your other liability. So when you speak to a residential broker or a residential banker, they put in all your numbers in the calculator and say, sorry sir, you can't borrow anything or anymore, you can't invest in the property. That is wrong. Okay, you can still invest in property, but in another segment, which is lease stock. So I'm going to give an example. If you were to buy a investment property / a commercial warehouse, and that is gonna sell for range around $2 million, and then the rental yield, net rental, will be $40,000 per year after tax. If the bank's appetite for that particular property in that particular suburbs will be 1:2 ratio, income savings ratio, which means you have $40,000 net rent, the banks will use half of it, divide by 2, $20,000 to use to service your interest every year. So we call that ICR, interest cover ratio. If you are getting an amazing interest rate at 2% interest only per year, then you can theoretically servicing up to $1 million loan. So the term will be equal to the lease. The lease usually sign like 3 + 3 + 3, optional to the tenants. So then your first loan term could be 3, or by the time if you settle the property, you only have 2 years lease left, then usually your loan term will be 2 years. Of course, there are a lot of other diversified products out there can give you 10, 15, or even 30 years without reviewing the lease. So what we call is stand-alone lease. The disadvantage of investing in lease stock is getting more involved with your legal. You need to have more legal advice, tax advice, and each property is very unique. So you better to speak to someone who are experienced in purchasing and analyzing commercial property for you, such as the property valuer. A lot of them provide third-party, unbiased analysis for you before you make the purchase. Some of the other disadvantages, such as you need more deposit usually for a commercial property investment. If you buy residential, you can usually borrow up to 80% without paying landing mortgage insurance. But landing mortgage insurance are not available for commercial properties. And a lot of them nowadays are up to 65%. So you do need to be cashed up. Be smart, don't be the cash cow. If you like the video, click like and put your question in the comments. Subscribe.